Amazing. Well, if you listen to most any Spanish radio, you've probably heard the soulful sounds of a Central Texas native who has won 5 Grammys. In his first interview since battling a life-threatening health scare, I sat down with the legend himself, Little Joe Hernandez, the king of the brown sound, who is still filled with beautiful music and a humble spirit.
I had no idea when I recorded that song the impact that it would have in my career.
That song, Las Nubes, catapulted Little Joe into icon status.
Si voy a seguir sufriendo, if I'm going to keep on suffering, mejor quisiera morir. I'd much rather die than to continue suffering.
It's a tribute to working class people everywhere.
It's a song about anguish and reviving the soul and determination and resilience.
It's a song about his family, his community, his life.
Si voy a seguir sufriendo, mejor quisiera morir. All the humility, humiliation that was cast upon them, the discrimination, segregation, and racism that they had to endure, my parents, so that I could have something better than they did. I was born in a 3-wall car garage, third floor, so that's a long ways up.
He says life was hard, but beautiful. It's what made him who he is. Picking cotton right alongside his parents, Salvador and Emilia de Leon Hernandez, who taught him the value of hard work.
Seeing my mother picking cotton when she was pregnant, as a kid, I thought, well, that's the way things are, and I never felt poor.
It also gave him the strength to fight back against all the negative noise coming from outside his community.
We, the dirty, lazy Mexicans that I was called as a kid, look at construction, look at the buildings that La Raza have built. We built this country, we helped build this country, and we're still lazy Mexicans.
That passion is where his music comes from.
I was raised in a totally black neighborhood. All the music I heard from the bars and in my friends' homes was black music of the times. That's part of my DNA.
And then there's his family. Being one of 13 children, La Familia has always been a huge influence.
My older brothers would buy records from the 30s, from the jazz bands, from the swing bands, from the orchestras.
You put it all together and it became clear a career in music was inevitable. At 13 years old, Little Joe became a part of his cousin's band, Little Joe and the Latinaires. Then in 1959, Little Joe y La Familia was born, where those early years of beauty and hardship in Central Texas turned into Grammy gold.
Is there something, a line or a lyric that maybe has never been recorded that you could sing or say?
Well, yes. I'm glad you asked. I was in London, and I flashed back from the cotton fields. This little country boy in downtown London. Now I'm here in London town. I'm alone, but I'm not down, 'cause my heart is still with you. That happened there. And
beautiful. And you've never recorded it?
Yeah, I've never recorded it.
Now at 83, we are reminded that huge heart of his is still human. This is his first interview since emergency heart surgery in August.
Are you feeling okay? What's your status as far as post-surgery?
They discovered I had a blockage in one of my major arteries, 96 to 99%. From the stress test, they took me to surgery, and I have an implant. A stent was placed in me. But I'm feeling well.
Good enough to dance, in fact, appropriately in the city where he grew up. 5 Grammys and 70 albums later, Little Joe has never lost that humble little boy.
Whoever thought I'd be dancing with a beautiful girl in my backyard?
Oh my God, you're amazing, Little Joe.
Born in a Central Texas garage, a life and a heritage he couldn't be more proud of.
The Tejano music legend dedicated his first Grammy to his brother Jesse, the biggest motivator in his career, who passed away when he was just 20 years old. Little Joe was also recognized in 2023 as a National Heritage Fellow by the National Endowment for the Arts, the nation's highest honor in the folk and traditional arts.